This is a very small presentation about how to approach a tunnel and more how to practically approach when you have the scope in your hands, any submucosal endoscopy. There is some text in this presentation, but later today we will show multiple examples of how to start it, and so this text, these slides will then be transferred into something that you can visualize. Although I put some images to make it a bit more easy. So here again. So if I'm right, tunneling is with 2 L's in British English and with 1 L in American English. So if people tell me it's with 1 L, I looked it up. Okay, I'll have to share again. Oh yeah, I indeed, I'm sharing the whole screen, so I shouldn't be worried. Okay, so general approach to a submucosal endoscopic tunnel. So like with, I think, everything in submucosal endoscopy, you start with your submucosal injection. Why? Because that allows to broaden or expansion your submucosal layer, and that is where you will work. So you need space to put to get the scope in there. How do we do that? By injecting some injectate, and we here use a simple physiologic or isotonic saline solution for the ESD. For the POEMs. So this is photos taken from a POEM tunnel we did, but the principle is in every kind of tunnel you want to make. If it is for an ESD in esophagus or for STER, you will always use the same approach. So we first make a bleb, a submucosal bleb with our needle, and then we, in the part that is most lifted, we make a first incision with our knife. So the blue, and this is really, I think, one of the most difficult parts of creating a tunnel is getting into the tunnel, and it is very. You need to be very careful not to touch the sides of your entrance, because you don't want to damage the tunnel entry again, because you want a nice closure at the end of your procedure. So you really need to be very careful. So we obviously want to treat bleeding when it occurs, and we do that with the same instrument. We don't need to change instruments when we have a small bleeding. So we just close our knife, the triangle knife, the dual knife, whatever knife you have. And we don't even need to change the settings because we use spray to coagulate the vessel with a closed knife. And that is very effective, sometimes too effective. So you need to be careful. The setting is for tunneling on effect 4. If you have a bleeding or something you want to treat preventively before it starts bleeding, with a closed knife, effect 4 will help. But if it's a small vessel and you are close to the submucosa, by the way, never try to coagulate close to the mucosa, but also always close to the muscle. But if you're scared, you just lower the effect to 2, and it will give you maybe when you start, it's a bit safer. So why do that? If you have a very big vessel in your tunnel that you want to treat before you cut it, we also tend to do it with the knife actually out and go very slowly. So we at least give 5 taps next to the vessel, and then you just see it coagulate away. But if you have sometimes major vessels, 2-3 millimeters, we will still take out a coag grasper and then with soft coagulation treat it before we cut it. How to prevent post-procedural bleeding? Well, this is mainly for ESD. When you did ESD in the esophagus, using the tunnel approach, or even in the stomach, of course, PPI, coagulation of all visible vessels in your defect. even a clipping if you have some major vessels that you coagulated but are maybe still half alive under that muscular layer. And then, yeah, that's more not for this course, but for ESD defects, you can protect them with what we call here Purostat that can prevent also post-procedural bleeding. Routine clip closure, this is again for ESD, is not recommended and is definitely recommended when you make a tunnel entrance in POEM, you need to close it.